What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Awakening World. I'm Love Coach Scott Thomas, and it is the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year, and we're going to celebrate that. We're going to learn all about how we have shed our snake skin and we're riding forward like the fire horse. And so we've got a really fun show. And to kind of share with us about that, just want to let you know who's going to be on the show tonight. We've got Keishi Chai. She's going to do some dancing and answer some questions. And we also are really delighted that Isabelita and her beloved Tom are back with us. So they're going to be with us. And you are going to be really excited about what our good friend Michael Kraus has to offer tonight. It's something that I think is going to change all of our lives. It's going to be a really wonderful new way to start our day. So you definitely want to stick around for that. We will have prayer time with our beloved Diara. And we're also going to hear from a friend of mine in a pre-recorded video that I did, my friend Anna Lowe's, who's got a really cool game, which we'll explain when we play that. And speaking of playing, we're going to go right to music with our favorite musical musical artist, Omar Shar, to play the first song of the night.
Well, namaste, everybody, and yes, Happy New Year, and let's make every day a new year, so it's a brand new coming forward every day. And welcome everybody who's watching on Facebook and YouTube. We love you so much, and for any of you, we do watch the comments, so if you want to put some comments in there, please comment. And anyway, this is the Fire Horse year, so it's a new road. And here we go on the new road. Just look at us now. Waves of inspiration filling all our speaking our truth, basking in the pure light, freeing the way for all of us. Take off your disguise, show your starry eyes, open up your heart, be with me, truly we're divine. Let your spirit shine. I am one within you, and I love you so. I love you so. clearer, creating a world of ecstasy. Surrounding us is true love, filling empty spaces. Rejoice in the word unity. Take off your disguise, show your starry eyes, open up your heart, be with me. Truly we're divine, let your spirit shine. I am one within you and I love you so. I love you so. Take off your disguise, show your starry eyes, open up your heart, dance with me. Truly we're divine, let your spirit shine. I am one within you and I love you so. I love you so. Take off your disguise, show your starry eyes, open up your heart, be with me. Truly we're divine, let your spirit shine. I am one within you and I love you so. I love you so.
Let's give some twinkles. Welcome, everybody. Welcome up those starry eyes.
That's right. The new road, fire horse. Here we come. Here we are.
Absolutely. What have you noticed so far, Omashar?
Just I'll call it an amalgamation of several timelines of several dimensions. In the last 2 or 3 or 4 days, there's just been such an immense amount of information coming to me. But what it's done is, rather than get overwhelmed, it's forced me to discern. And what I've done is just literally started grounding, because we already are all that. And it's now, for me anyway, my perspective is bringing it in. And so I've been going outside, even though we have a rather spiky pine tree backyard. I've been taking my socks off and just walking around and grounding and bringing in all this information that we have garnered over the eons into my presence. And so that's my soliloquy for this moment. Scott?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And courtesy of our dear Dorina, here is a beautiful, beautiful vision for our happy new lunar year, 2026, the year of the fire horse. Now, it's the year of the horse every 12 years, but it's only the year of the fire horse every 60 years. And let's take a moment, and as I say each of these 7 words that we're looking at, let's just really do an inventory with yourself. How are you at attracting or manifesting or experiencing more passion in the next year? More prosperity, more abundance, freedom, spirit, strength, and luck. So that's what part of what we're going to be working with. And to learn a lot more about what's possible, we're going to turn it over to our beloved friends, Isabelita and Tom. And Isabelita is one of my oldest friends that appears on the Awakening World. She was with us recently. And Isabelita, please share with us kind of your understanding of the Chinese New Year. And I know you also are going to lead a meditation for us.
Thank you, Scott. Happy Chinese New Year, the fire of the horse to everybody. I'm excited. So I have a lot to say, but I would like us to just share a few breaths together and arrive here together in the Zoom room and others on the other Zoom room. And let's just have a couple of breaths together. And let's just arrive here, however you want to arrive here. Could be sitting, laying down, standing. There's no right or wrong to arrive. To arrive in the present moment with myself and with everyone else. We may feel our feet on the ground, feel our chair supporting our upper body, the spine, erect but relax. We may soften our face, our jaw, our forehead. Perhaps soften neck and shoulders. And the rest of the arms. Hands touching each other or on your lap. It's just a reminder to arrive here in the present with myself and with everyone else. Maybe feeling the feet touching the floor. So before I start my talk, I just want to honor the ancestors that I stand on their shoulders here in Wailua, and all the masters and teachers who paved the way so we can practice health and well-being. And to each and every one of you who are here. So before I start, I wanted to just have a little information, what Qigong and all the, in relationship with the fire horse that we are working with. So, Qigong is about acupuncture, and it's about the meridians and organs, the blood, the bones, the bone marrow, the qi, and this is all a part of when we do Qigong is activated, and also we release stuck qi. Stuck qi could be stress, aches and pain, or it could be in the emotions too. So just wanted to just run through those areas, like here in the upper dantian, we call it dantian, it's the energy area. It has to do with the brain, the pineal gland, the five senses, and the motor skills. Without the motor skills, we can't move. So these are the areas that we move and we enhance when we do Qigong. And then we go to the middle dantian, which is the heart, the lungs, the stomach, and the spleen. So we call it dantian, okay? And then in the belly, here, is where the digestive organs, where we metabolize food. And also this is where the reproductive organs are. The uterus, the ovaries for women, prostate for men, the major organs, the kidney, the bladder, the liver is all here. So they're all a big machine that works together, to make us healthy. So when there's no stuck qi, then we could experience the electromagnetic energy. So those just a simple theory of traditional Chinese medicine based on acupuncture. The Qigong is based on acupuncture. Acupuncture, you receive the treatment of the needles, but the Qigong is more active. You move those acupuncture points. So they're marriage. So those are the important factor that I just wanted to impart with you as far as what Qigong is about, because most of you maybe don't know what Qigong is. So the next one is the excitement of the year of the horse. So the year of the horse, I'm not an astrologer, but in Chinese medicine, when you talk about the elements, the 5 elements, the earth, the water, air, metal, fire. So the fire represents in Chinese medicine the heart. So the fire horse, fire is the heart. So they work together. The fire represents the heart, which is joy, compassion, love, peace, connectedness, and more so like more introspective. And the fire, as you know, the fire, Scott already named a lot of the things that we will work about the fire, but the horse is more energy, more leadership, more action, vitality. It's more of a really charge. So what happens, that's why I wanted to say about the relationship, is they work together. The heart is more grounding for the horse. The action and the passion of the horse also brings joy, brings love to the action of the horse. Those are the things that I just wanted to share about the relationship in 5 elements between the horse and the heart. And it's so auspicious because a couple days ago, it was Valentine's Day, and here is the fire horse. So they kind of, it's like a perfect symmetry, rhythmical part of the arriving of the horse. So, you know, like Scott, for example, what was your year, your animal year this year?
The ram.
So that's a goat, right?
The goat.
Yeah, it's a
sometimes they call the ram.
Yeah, sometimes the goat is a good partner of the horse, because the goat is very more like reassurance. It wants reassurance, and it wants more groundedness before it goes to action. Well, the horse is ready to move, but for all of us, whatever our animal horoscope is could be the pig, could be the snake, it could be the dragon, rabbit, you know, whatever that is for you. If you are perhaps working on something and it's slow, and maybe you're thinking of something you wanted to achieve, like a goal you want to get to, but you're just not able to do it. Well, the energy of the horse will help you ignite, help you achieve your goals. And whatever is stuck or slow, the energy, the medicine of the horse will help ignite those areas in your life that you wish to accomplish. So those are the things that I just wanted to say. As you know, the it's all about balance. Like the unbalances of the horse could be impulsive, restless, impractical, tire easily, bursts of energy, but also it burnout. So to balance those energy of the horse, so we need the heart. It needs nourishment. It needs to slow down. Doesn't mean to be, charged all the time, but it means to return home. You know, the horse can gallop forever, all over, anywhere, and doesn't stop. But the thing of what the heart is teaching the horse is to assertive with compassion, with gentleness, with going, but also to return to come home and not just go endlessly with no direction. So we hope with this energy of the horse is all of our intentions and affirmations will be leading to the right directions. So those are only what I wanted to share, but it's very exciting. It's about balance. It's about yin and yang, and the horse is a yang energy. So there's a quality of the heart that's yin that can balance the horse. So if there's any of you that would like to share something or ask question or anything. So for me, before you ask question, I just want you to have a little reflection. What is it in the area of your life that needs assistance from the horse? That you feel like you're ready to take action, you want to take leadership, something that you want to do, but you need more support or assistance. So, just take a moment. Perhaps freedom. And not only in the physical sense, it could also, in Chinese medicine, when you heal the emotion, you heal the physical and also the spiritual. So in this fire horse lunar also eclipse, what is the quality of the horse that you want to integrate in your life right now, moving forward? Just take a couple of breaths, whatever comes up for you that you are thinking or wanting to start or inspire you.
Yeah, so let's have silence. I'm going to bring this up again because it's such a beautiful vision. And again, on everything I've read, these are significant words related to the horse. So let's have a minute of silence. Everybody just look and reflect on Isabelita's questions. And if anybody wants to speak, you can raise your hand or put something in the chat box.
Oh, there's chat. Nobody. So there's a question there, Scott. Did you see it? Or something about the
I
day?
see that Tiara wrote, goals of the heart pulled forward by the horse, the heart nuzzled by the gentle horse. And that's beautiful. Thank you, Tiara.
Yes.
And if anybody else wants to share, remember, you can always raise your hand electronically, just on your computer, doing what I just did with a little automatic hand comes up. And that's helpful because then you go to the front of the audience. Is there anything anybody would like to share? Don't be shy.
Yeah. What brings your heart alive?
Suzanne says, why is this the year of the fire horse rather than just the horse?
Well, it includes the elements according to Chinese medicine, because it resembled the elements fire, horse.
I can cover
okay,
a little bit of that. So the 5 elements in Chinese medicine are water, wood, fire, earth, and metal in that sequence. Okay. And so there's the 12 animals, which is a 12-year sequence. At the same time, there's a 5-year sequence going through cycle going through the different elements. So this is the year of fire. and it's the year of the horse at the same time. So next year will be an Earth year, and it will be the next animal, which I don't remember what it is. That's why Scott at the beginning mentioned that it's a 60-year cycle total, because there's a 5-year cycle of elements and a 12-year cycle of animals. So the last year of the fire horse was 60 years ago, and the next year the fire horse will be 60 years from now.
The fire.
I see that Keishi put something up, so I'm going to pin Keishi for a minute, and this helps to explain it. So there are the 12 rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse. Of course, we just are coming out of snake into horse. So next will be sheep, then monkey, then rooster, then dog, and then pig.
And then at the top, you can see where it has the fire, earth,
Yeah,
metal,
that's the
water,
elements.
wood. Yeah.
Right.
Those are the
So
So-
it corresponds.
Right. So probably next 12 years from now, it'll be the earth horse. Then 24 years from now, it would be the metal horse. And
I
so
don't,
on and so forth.
I don't know that it goes that way, but okay, possibly.
I mean, just theoretically then.
So
Beautiful. And so, this is actually, thank you for holding that up, Keishi.
yeah,
Because let's
thank
just
you,
take a
Casey.
moment.
Tashi, thank you.
Yeah.
And okay, so anyway, whatever that intentions or aspirations that you need the medicine of the horse that come, maybe you don't think of it now, maybe later you will, and the fire horse will assist that movement. Yeah. And also working with the unbalance of the horse, like we have it in ourselves as well. So working with those unbalances, bring the fruition, bring the element of the fruition of the chi of the horse that can bring the goods to what you aspire or whatever you are thinking of. If you need help or you're stuck with, the fire horse will help you move in a gentle, compassionate way. There's a raised hand there.
Yes, Dia Therese, please unmute and would love to hear what you'd like to share, Dia.
Okay, am I unmuted? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh,
Hi.
this is so wonderful. It's wonderful to see you two again.
Yeah, thank you.
This is very basic. I need that fire horse. I choose to have the energy to light more of a fire under me, because I need that. I want that. The domestic, all the domestic done, and everybody knows what that means. Keeping a house up and etc., so that I can do the things I love. My meditation classes with Dr. Cat Lewis, and the music, the piano and the guitar and the singing and all the programs. No, so that's it. I want that the fire horse to light a fire, I guess, under me, because I'm the one that knows how to do it. So thank you.
Beautiful, Dia. Thank you so much. And let's just take a moment and send maximum grace. And imagine Dia Therese on that energetic fire horse moving forward in wonderful, wonderful ways. Absolutely. Thank you.
Ditto. And
We're almost out of time,
we-
Lolita. So I want you to, because I want to hear Tom's musical song. So
Okay.
whatever last thought you had, and then Tom.
Okay, so this is the last one that it's a poem, a short poem from the fire horse. Shall I
Wonderful.
read it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is from the fire horse that came through, and I wrote it down in my meditation. May joy return not as pressure, but as permission. May power tempered by compassion, movement guided by wisdom. Fire horse, heart blessing, may your heart be warm again. May joy return like sunlight after rain. May the fire within you burn gently, not as pressure, but as love. May your spirit run free, moving in the right direction, one brave breath at a time. May you trust the path unfolding, and may your heart remember you were made for aliveness. May our hearts be well nourished. May joy and love be our steady path. May our fire serve love.
Beautiful. Thank you, Isabelita.
You're welcome. I don't know. Let's do a music. I don't know if maybe we can do a little movement while Tom is playing because of time constraint. So you let me know, Scott.
Well, I mean, if you want to give one simple thing for people to do, but I also want to really enjoy. I know that Tom's going to do a bit of a chant that we can tune into. So
Yeah,
if
so
you have a simple movement you want to suggest.
yeah, we can just do, it's all about the heart. While he's starting, we can all just massage our heart,
I like
palm
that.
to palm. And while Tom is doing and preparing for song, and just open that heart meridian and nourish the heart. When the heart is nourished, it becomes joyful. Okay, and then just tap, 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 tap.
Tom, you need to turn your original sound on, brother.
Yeah. Regional sound. Thank you for reminding me. I got to. Thank you. Okay, here we go.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate
I'd give the stars and the sun for I live. Fill you with the night, I'd weigh you diamonds bright. Nothing to get would excite. If I could dream of you tonight for your love, for your love, for your love.
Call and response.
For your love.
Tell them call and response. Call and response.
Call and response, everyone.
Narayana, 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 Narayana. Well,
Okay.
Oh, thank you very, very much, Tom and Isabelita. Always so much fun. And a reminder everybody that you can find all of her wonderful offerings at selfcareqigong.com. Selfcareqigong.com. Perhaps go to her store. If you click visit the online store, that takes you to the books that we talked about last time she was on the show. Learn more about her. And we love Tom and we love Qigong and we love Isabelita. And thank you for getting us off to such a wonderful start tonight.
and our Bali retreat.
Oh, that's right. And do you still have people space available?
Maybe just one left.
Put
But
the
it-
link into that chat. If you could put that link into the chat box for everybody, and I'll mention it at the
And
Global Peace Tribe announcements.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
So much. Absolutely. All right. We're going to swing right into Keishi Chai. And actually what happened was so wonderful seeing Keishi dancing again. And I texted her and we got into a text exchange. And I was, oh my God, she was available tonight. So how wonderful. Of course, Keishi's been coming on to this show going all the way back to when we first began almost 6 years ago. So welcome back, Keishi. And you've got some really wonderful offerings to share with our audience. So take it away.
Thank you so much, Scott. I happen to be available tonight because I'm actually in San Francisco. I'm a movement artist and producer, an educator based in New York City, and I come out to California for Lunar New Year. I tour the preschools and share Chinese culture, and I also come back for May, Asian American Month, and do a tour of the libraries in Humboldt County. So today I'm celebrating Happy New Year. I happen to have all these slides because I've been doing the preschools. So notice that we have some Chinese characters. 新年快乐. Can you say that? 新年快乐.
新年快乐.
Yes, perfect. Chinese characters are made up of pictograms, which are basically pictures of objects and concepts. So we have the character shang, which means up. So you can see the ground, something is above it. And xia means down, so something is below the ground. And lin, which is forest, has two trees, two mu symbols. And this is my name in Chinese characters. So Keishi Chai is how you say it in English. And in Chinese, you usually flip the surname and the first name. So Cai is first and Kai Si is my name. And it means turtle. Kai, which is usually a boy's name, it means victory. And Si is silk. I love dancing with silk, so I'm going to show you a little bit of that later. I wanted to just talk a little bit about what I have in store for you, and then we'll just jump right into it. Here's my little fire horse. He wants to say hello, Ma, and he's been accompanying me into the preschools, and it's been fantastic having him. I wanted to share the Dance of the Lotus with you, which I invite you to join me for if you would like. I'll dance with some silk fans and the silk veil. And I also have a very long history with Middle Eastern dance, also known as belly dance. In fact, in 2 days, I'm celebrating my 30th anniversary. I have traveled to China 20 times to teach belly dance. That's a fun fact for you. And we're going to be learning some snake moves to shed patterns that no longer serve us, moving from 2025 into 2026. And we'll learn some horse movements that come from the Said region of Egypt. It's very yang, masculine, very fun. I'll offer you some variations if you prefer to stay seated, and I'll give you some standing variations as well. So uh, that's what I had in planned for tonight. And if I have extra time, I'll talk a little bit about what that might look like, practically speaking in reality, with shedding old patterns and then inviting in the spirit of the fire horse. So, with that, I feel like it's time to do a little moving. I'm going to put on the Dance of the Lotus. Feel free to dance with me if you want. All right. So
Oh,
I'm just going to tie this around my hips. We're going to dive straight into the snake. And the snake of 2025 is the wood snake. And the wood element represents upward growth. So you can do this seated, you can do this standing. Let's bring our hands together. We're going to grow our hands up like a seed growing up into a tree. Down and up and down. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time. And make a hole with your hand. You're going to dive down and come up. The snake dives down into the earth, into the underworld, and comes up. We're pushing the hands down, shedding our skin, coming down and up. Let's put it together. Grow, expand, diving down, listening to the planet, listening to your intuition, listening to your wisdom, and slowly coming up and diving down, shedding your skin. Now reach right arm and down and left arm. These are called low snake arms. Breathing. And if you're standing, you can join me with hips, optional, adding a downward figure eight with the hips. Breathing. And let's bring the arms up and just shed our layers off our arms, off our legs. Now we're going to move into the energy of the horse. So the horse is a masculine rhythm. Isabelita talked about it being a yang energy. So you're going to take your heels and drop them down into the ground. You can lean your weight further back. If you're seated, you can drop your shoulders down. Down. So this stance, it comes from the Said region of Egypt. So this is in the south. Very masculine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can step, lift one knee up, and step, lift the other knee up. Right foot, left knee up, left foot, right knee up. I'll show you from the side. You can add a little drop with your heel. Arms are going to move to the head. You can drop your shoulders if you're seated. If you want, you can add your legs. And now you're going to go forward and back, forward and back. Three, 2, 1, and then you're going to go forward and pivot. Drop your shoulders. Faster. Dancing like a horse, moving through space. And let's go back to the leg move. Drop those shoulders. If you want, you can add your hands. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Forward and back. We're putting it together. This is very energetic. You can burn a lot of calories doing this. Side to side. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Forward and back. All right, shake it out, everyone. Good job. Just wanted to give you a little taste of what that looks
Casey,
like.
you are amazing. You really, I mean, first of all, you can talk so clearly, do all that dancing, guide us, and you totally pulled off looking like a dance. You were dancing and you were a horse at the same time. You did it. I want to read some of the comments coming in from the audience. Susan Bloomquist writes, "What fun!" Omushar writes, "Absolute perfection in dance. What a talent." Eleanor Joy writes, "Casey, you and your dancing and music are a true work of art. I'm participating vicariously and loving every second of this." Susan Bloomquist writes, "Casey brings us a perfect celebration of this new year." Tim writes, "She is masterful," and Eleanor writes, "I agree. Stunningly beautiful, much gratitude. So graceful and lovely in her movements. Beautiful silk swinging and beautiful music. Such a treat to have Casey. Beautiful, graceful. Yes, this was so much fun." So, our audience is loving you.
Aw, thank you so much. Thank you. It's a pleasure to come here and share. Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about what that means, the horse and the snake as archetypes and how that can serve us. I've been working with some of my students in New York. I have a school called Belly Queen, and we're working on an archetypes course right now. Years ago, I studied drama therapy and dance therapy at the new school, and I was introduced to the power of archetypes for transformation, for healing. And so, through the lens of the archetype, it allows you to create another imaginary reality. So, there's your everyday reality, and then you have the archetypes. And in that space between the two planes, um, is transformation and healing. And we're able to move out of our comfort zone and reach into different aspects of ourselves, or maybe it can seeing ourselves through these archetypes can help shine a light into areas that will allow us to move out stagnant blocks. Isabelita talked about the stagnant chi that we have in our system, and part of shedding what no longer serves you as the snake is about shedding these blocks, whether it's internal with limited beliefs, or the physical manifestation of stuck energy in your intestines, and just getting it out, whether you need to drink celery juice like I do. I drink that when I can, almost every day when I'm back in New York and I have my juicer, and that keeps me regular. So I recommend that if you need help in that area. And also just with your physical environment, whether it's clutter. And I want to give a shout out to Andrew Mellon. He's an incredible organizer. I'm currently in his 10-week course, and he talks about the three main principles of the organization triangle. We've got like with like, so all like objects belong together, and everything has a home. So when you come home, when I come home, the mail has a home, the my purse has a home. I know where my keys are, and it just really cuts down on a lot of running around looking for lost objects. And one thing in, one thing out is this last principle, which is can be hard because when you bring a new object into your house, you have to release something else. So that's something I'm still working on, decluttering, but I've gotten really, really far with that. So that's part of shedding for me. That's how I interpret the snake, and letting go of what's limiting yourself inside as well as outside. And in 2022, my husband accepted a job in San Francisco, and he worked out here for 2 years. And I was bouncing back and forth between New York and California. And changing the environment was just a wonderful opportunity to have a reset in middle-aged life. How often does that happen? To have that gift. And some of my friends ask me, when you go to California, do you want to recreate what you have in New York? And I thought, no, I don't, because why would I do that? Why would I just repeat what I'm doing in New York? Why not step into something new? And that's when I started working with kids and collaborating with scientists to present at museums. And I even joined a contemporary modern dance company for a couple of months, which was really fun. And so it's been really nice to change the environment, get it going out to nature. This is one of the best things about being in California. It's raining a lot right now, so I'm really keeping my eye on the sun and hoping it'll come out by Friday because I'm heading back to New York on Saturday. So those are a couple of thoughts I had, and also um, this idea of speed, because a few years ago I had this vision where I was racing down this one highway, doing my thing, very involved in Middle Eastern dance, belly dance, doing all the things there, going to the festivals, performing, and traveling the world. And then I saw this other highway come up that was more connected to serving Gaia and using my gifts to help her and the next generation. And when I was rocketing down this one highway and I was thinking, how do I get over there? Like I could see it, but I'm on this path. And I had to figure out over those couple of years, like how to get off and find the pathway to the second highway. And now I feel like I'm up on the second highway and I'm starting to pick up speed again. So that to me is how I feel like the fire horse is manifesting in my life. And that's all I have to share today.
That's fantastic. Casey, you just bring so much really positive energy. And there are more and more comments that have come in from George and Dia and Lynn. Lynn says, I love that you're teaching children and their parents need this too. All the best of cultures are needed to teach. Thank you. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the name. He writes, or she writes, they write, Keishi, thank you for inviting me to this celebration. Your dancing is always inspiring. And Isabelita and Tom said, so beautiful and graceful. So more and more, yes, clutter be gone, clutter be gone. And a reminder, everybody, that you can find more about Keishi by going to her website, and it's easy to remember. It's her name, and it's just Keishi, Kaeshi.com, Keishi.com. And that's where you can learn more about her and her wonderful offerings. And Keishi, I just have so much respect for you. Thank you so much for what you brought to us tonight. Absolutely beautiful. We're going to have a couple of quick Global Peace Tribe announcements. And this first one's actually a little bit on the serious side. As most of you know, I'm very involved with the Evolutionary Leaders Circle. And I've been having a lot of private conversations among the council, with the leaders. And today we had a 2-hour meeting to discuss something really difficult. I'm guessing most of you are aware that Deepak Chopra has been prominently linked to the Epstein files. And it's not just once or twice. He clearly had a lot of communication back and forth. And some of the things that Deepak said are definitely not cool, not okay. There's nothing that implies that he absolutely did anything sexual, although we don't know. But definitely a lot of the things he said are just really not. It's heartbreaking for those of us that want to see any spiritual teacher walking their talk and not saying inappropriate things. Why am I bringing this up? Well, we have an interesting choice to make. The Evolutionary Leaders, and by the way, Deepak was a founding member of the Evolutionary Leaders. It was started by he, Marianne Williamson, and Michael Beckwith almost 20 years ago. And we have decided to remove him from the website and to remove him from our connections. Well, Deepak has been on our show many times. Deepak has been on Saturday Night Live for the Global Peace Tribe. We even did an entire 2-hour special day with him. Some of you might have participated in that. I do not endorse cancel culture. I personally did not vote to remove him from the Evolutionary Leaders website, but I respect that the majority of the Evolutionary Leaders Council that I'm part of did want that to happen, so it did. I don't want to open up the conversation about it tonight verbally, but I do welcome any of you that have opinions to put it into the chat box. And I will definitely read what you write. There are some really good, if you want to know more, there's a fellow named Scott Mills who wrote a very, very extensive Substack article. And he really took the time to go deep into the files, read everything as best as he could. And he's a colleague of Deepak, and he was hoping that as he read it, he'd see that it was a lot of stuff taken out of context. Sadly, the more he read and the more he investigated, the more disillusioned he was. So, it's that time in which, and I think we've heard a lot of spiritual teachers say, okay, this is a time where we have to come out of the shadow. We all have a history. We all have things that we've done in our past that are regrettable. Sonia, your opinions matter, because I have not made a decision yet whether to remove him. It would basically be removing the videos that he was on from our YouTube channel. So your opinion matters. We're a community, and I'm just the benevolent dictator of our beautiful community, or the minister, or the whatever you want to call me. But your opinions really matter to me. So on a much more positive and enjoyable note, I do want to remind everybody, I mentioned it briefly, but it's really becoming a real thing. My good friend Katrina Valancourt and I are going to be teaching a 12-week course on relationship mastery. And it's going to be outstanding. It's going to be every Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning for 12 weeks, 2-hour course. I used to teach this 4 or 5 times a year, and then I haven't for the last 2 years because I've been very busy with my coaching practice and very busy with this show that I do called The Awakening World. But you can click on this, and I'll also put it, if you click there, that'll take you, and you can read and learn more about it. And if any of you, as beloved family members, are sincerely interested in taking the course, I am offering a free 20 to 30-minute discovery session. We would hop on a phone call or a Zoom call and chat about your interest. I'll answer questions for you, give you a few tips, tools, and practices of love coaching. So let us know, or let me know. You can pop it in the chat, or a little bit safer to send me a private text message. And I hope that some of you will join us. Kristen Hoffman took the course with her boyfriend, Troy, the last time I took it. We usually have about 30, 35 people in the course, and it's deep. We go really deep, and you'll come out of it with all the tools needed to have an amazing relationship with anybody, friends, workmates, family members. It's very, very powerful. So hope to see some of you there. And we're now at our official mid-show break, which means it is time for Om Ashar. Or I think it was DR or someone who called him Om Asher. I like that one. That's a good one. We've heard Om Ashar, Om Asher. It was all in a joy.
Changed like a butterfly. It's something very new. I'm feeling so alive, and yes, it's true. Nothing is the same. I'm bigger than before, and yet I know that I am still a child. this new world, and so connected to you. An innocent new life, a heart so true. A dream that seems so far away is living here in me, freeing all the pain that paved the way. The miracle of love has opened up the door, and now I know that I am still a child without a care in this new world, and so connected to you. An innocent new life, a heart so true. My heart is beating once again. I'm feeling so secure, and yet I know that nothing's like before. My mind is now at peace, no need to know the way. And yes, I'm glad that I am still a child without a care in this new world, and so connected to you. An innocent new life, a heart so true. I'm still a child without a care in this new world, and so connected to you. I'm innocent and deep and pure and true.
What a sweet and beautiful song. Let's give some twinkles. That's a really beautiful, gentle, sweet.
Thank you. I'm bouncing around. Why am I? Yeah, the what you were sharing before threw me for a loop, brother. And so I was looping and snooping during the whole song there, trying to remain focused after what I just heard. And yeah, just sharing my truth.
Yeah, well, it was amazing how you played such a sweet, gentle song afterwards. And I do want
yeah, everything is definitely pre-created before we even come in, and in that was the perfect balm for what we just heard, I think.
Yeah, it was amazing how you did that. You really are, you're very in tune, my friend.
Yeah.
I have put into the chat box, if anybody really wants to go deeper into read what Scott Mills wrote. He really did his homework. He spent a lot of time going deep into the files and bringing up what was said and what took place. And so it's painful. It's painful to read. But if anybody really wants to know, so it's not just hearsay, that's a good place to go. And maximum grace to Deepak, without a doubt, what a scary time in his life this must be. By the way, he did, we, at the Evolutionary Leaders, we did send him an email. We let him know what we were doing, and he wrote back very brief, and sadly has not taken accountability. He posted something briefly on X, formerly known as Twitter, and our sadness is that he hasn't taken real accountability. He's kind of been almost like, well, he hasn't taken the level of accountability we would hope for. I'll leave it at that. All right. On a much, much, much more inspirational note, we turn it over to our good friend Michael Kraus from Unify and from Awaken. We're going to learn all about Awaken because this is the awakening world. And what Michael is doing is a wonderful project we're going to learn all about called Awaken.
Just stay here with me for a second, Scott, and if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of, yeah. And I just want to say thank you to you, Scott, for your commitment and your tenacity and your power and really every Wednesday, every Saturday to put this together. I know how much work it is and how much organizational skills you need, and to put your heart into that is I just want to say thank you to you again. Every time I see you, I'm like, wow, you're building community. You're doing exactly what your heart calls you to do. And it's so beautiful to see and to witness and to hear you speak and the wisdom within your words so yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for that.
My pleasure. Thank you. And thank you, Michael. Michael, for anybody who doesn't know, has been he's one of those guys behind the scenes who makes things happen. He's been a huge force within Unify. He's very involved now with Hubcast and Peter Young. And Michael's the guy behind the scenes who's making it all happen. And so thank you for being such an unsung hero, Michael.
We're all making it happen behind the scenes. We're all that's really what's going on right now, and I'm hoping that the energy of the fire horse, and interestingly enough, I am a fire horse. So this is
wow.
I hope this is going to be my year, and so this is something that a neighbor here has. This is hand cut with a scissor cut, and he was handing it out to I would say about 30 or 40 people here in the neighborhood, each and one of them different. Each and one of them had that dedication of really being in service to the neighbor and to the community, and what a labor of love that was. It also touched me deeply what you just said, Scott, in regards to Deepak, and it hasn't been gone unnoticed within my being. And I know he's been written out of some documentaries and movies, and he's been cancelled. And I had a conversation with somebody who is a good friend of his, and talking about responsibility. Deepak had called him up and said, I don't want to mention his name, I'm in the Epstein files. And so they had a conversation, and what happened was that Deepak Chopra reached out to Epstein in his early years for a book deal to help, or for Jeffrey to help him put a book deal together and really make him become who he was becoming. I don't think he had any idea of what Epstein did at the time and how he was involved and his whole past. But I'm just offering that perspective. I don't know. I wasn't there. And in return, Epstein had asked Deepak Chopra to teach him meditation. So Deepak, over the years, became Epstein's spiritual advisor, if I can say it that way. And I'm not sure whether that helps or whether it doesn't. I'm just offering a piece of my close proximity as to what I heard. And it's really it's sad. It's not just sad that there is that, that there is a cancel culture, but what is really sad is that out of the, I think about 90% of the women that I have met in my life have all been sexually abused. And it's not, I mean, trafficking and all the other and the far worse things are that's far worse. I don't want to compare it, but I'm saying the energy of male dominance, the energy of sexual abuse that has been going on for centuries or generations has to stop. It just has to stop. And if that is what it takes to stop it, then that's where we are right here, right now, in our human evolution. And it hurts. It really hurts the masculine aspect of myself to hear about the traumas and hear about the abuse and hear about the atrocities and the suffering and that has been going on for a long time. And like I said, it's time that it has to stop. Let me just switch the energy here for now. Thank you, Isabella and Tom and also Keishi and Omar Shar and what it all comes down to really is the power of music to also uplift us, to bring meaning to our lives, to express different cultures, different ways of being and perhaps even belief systems and how important music really is in our daily lives. And so I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for your contribution. I want to take a step back into the fire hose, perhaps. And I was listening to Richard Rudd from the Gene Keys the other day, and he was contemplating on the fire hose, and I just want to share a little bit about what I've learned from him in his contemplation. And he said 60 years ago, 1966, was the beginning of the computer movement, if you can say it that way. That's when the internet first started to come together and people were experimenting with it, and it had a huge impact specifically around our relationship with time, because the internet speeded everything up. Now, 60 years before that, in 1906, it was the revolution of the cars, the motor cars being built, and so there was also this thing about speeding up time by being faster. 60 years prior to that, that would have been 1846, was the invention of the telegraph and the sewing machine, which also had to do with time. And then 60 years prior to that was the invention of the steamboat. So, like Isabella said, there is about fire hose. There's something about ignition and taking action that is really predominant in those years that we experience every 60 years. And Keishi said she used racing down the highway, and that terminology, and then kind of taking a step back, perhaps contemplating and finding her different highway or the second highway, and then getting onto that and the question also, how do I get there? And so what I'd wanted to really introduce to you today is a project that I believe is going to perhaps have the potential to be a civilizational turning point. And when I say that, the project that I'm going to be introducing is called Awaken. It's literally reinventing the alarm clock, the way we wake up. And I'm talking about a civilizational turning point from an understanding that for generations, if not since the beginning of humanity, we've been waking up in survival mode. 5,000 years ago, it might have been firewood, cattle, field. Right now, it's the same survival mode. And so what we're suggesting is, if we can create something that transitions us from the high alpha, from the theta state, from the dream time, from the sleep time, into the wake time, with specific sound, frequency, vibration, soundscapes, daily uplifting messages and music, we can change that perhaps innate human condition. And that transformation from the dream time into the wake time, when we're still in that luminous state, when we're still connected to the creator, God, consciousness, whatever name you want to put towards it, that is one of the most powerful parts of the day. And it's also the foundation of the day, the foundation for the rest of the day. And so if we can wake up in greater coherence, in greater harmony, and greater purpose, and greater connection, I believe we can create a civilizational turning point. That is for the individual. If we can create greater well-being for the individual first in the morning, then it's going to have a ripple effect into families and communities. But the vision behind this project is more than that. It is about seeding a specific frequency of harmony and coherence around the planet. And imagine that there is 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, 1 billion cell phones going off on a daily basis, emitting the same sound vibration into the field, immersing it into the plants, into the waters, into the animals, and ultimately entraining each other into higher vibrational frequencies and higher levels of coherence. And a few months ago, I did a presentation, and when I sent out the invitation, I said this project has the potential to change the course of human history, and I don't think that I was correct with that. I think the course of human history has already been written. We know heaven on earth, golden age, nirvana, Shambhala, whatever names those who came before us used to name it, they saw it coming. They knew it's going to come. What I believe is necessary is that we need to align our base consciousness individually and collectively to a timeline in which those prophecies can come true. And I believe we have all the technology, we have all the wisdom, we have all the knowledge, we have all the information that is needed that we can shift this planet into greater coherence, hopefully within next year. And looking at the outside world of whatever is going on around us, and I always want to call it shenanigans, how can we come into greater coherence, and how can we come into greater harmony with ourselves, with one another, and with nature? So what that really means is we are reinventing the alarm clock on the iPhone and on Android, and there's 3.8 billion people wake up every morning with an alarm clock. Some people don't wake up with an alarm clock. Some people wake up naturally with the sun and the moon or actually the light, because when you really think about it, is what is the first sound in the morning? It is the bird. The bird hears the information of the light coming towards its habitat, and it starts to sing. It is that informant that the sun is rising, that the light is coming back. And so how can we all be birds, literally? And so what this really means is the app, you would record your message or you can record a message, let me put it this way. It will be placed over a specific soundscape. You can invite somebody to wake up with you, whether it's a friend, a neighbor, a family member, a fan, a follower, whoever, or a whole group of people. You send an invitation, somebody receives it, they set their alarm, they set the time that they want to waken up with your message, and it will trigger it the same way than it does on the iPhone or on Google Phone. What I would like to do is I would like for you to maybe for a couple of minutes, if I have enough time here, to listen into what that could potentially sound like where we are right now. So imagine, I just have to find imagine, maybe close your eyes, and then imagining waking up to that, and imagining 10 million, 50 million, 100 million people waking up to the same sound vibration, maybe not the same spoken word, because that, in that case, it's my word on it, but imagine your word, sending it to your daughters or sons or grandchildren or family members or friends. So let me just play this for you for a second.
Beloved world, the light is rising and so are we. Every breath a reminder that we're one heartbeat of the same creation. Today, let us awaken not just from our sleep, but into remembrance. Into remembrance that love is what we're made of. And peace is what we're here to share. So take a deep breath and let this new day begin in harmony, in gratitude, in love. And as the sun rises, let it remind us of what's possible, that we hold the power to awaken each other. A word, a song, a touch, a moment of kindness can ripple through time and change the course of our shared future. So ask yourself, who will you awaken today? And who will awaken you? Because the future is not something we wait for. It is something we awaken to, together. The time has come for a civilizational turning point. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So join us in this critical moment in human history. May your day be blessed.
Sorry, I know I'm running out of time here.
Michael, I want to just say I love what you've created. Obviously we've talked about it before. And I want to let the audience know that I'm really grateful that I've become a member. And Michael's going to show us how to do that. But here I am proudly showing that I'm now part of the founding members.
Yeah, I put a link in the chat, and so right now the opportunity is not just to leave within this app. You're going to be able to record messages and invite people for up to 10 years from now. So for people to leave a legacy for their children, their grandchildren, or leave a legacy for yourself, for your future self. There is an opportunity to leave legacies, but there is also right now there's an opportunity to leave a financial legacy, and that is on the website through those founding membership passes that are directly attached to the revenue coming through the app. And there's 3 different levels. 2% of revenue, top level revenue, is going to come into those 3 different membership passes, and my AI thing just does whatever it wants to do. And so I just would like to encourage you to maybe go to the website and think about who are the people in your life that you want to awaken, and who are the people that would want to awaken you. And right now we have, our team is reaching out to some of the greatest celebrities, if I can say that, or musicians on the planet. And I don't want to go into any names, but I'm sure that everybody knows them. Whether it's classical music, whether it's 60s rock kind of music, or Woodstock, or whether it's modern music and Grammy award-winning music. Right now we're probably talking about a outreach of about 750 million to 1 billion people that we want to approach through those celebrities when we go live on Solstice this year, June 21st, and I believe we need to come together as one humanity and really fulfill the prophecies of those who came before us. There's been so much suffering, so much agony, so many dreams of all those generations that we are standing on top of. We have a responsibility here right now to fulfill those prophecies, and I believe it's the easiest way to do it. You don't even have to get out of bed to participate in it. And I feel it's also the lowest hanging fruit in terms of how we can achieve that. So thank you all for your beautiful comments, and please click on the link and just look at it and see how it resonates, and that's all I have to say about that.
The majority of people watching are watching on our broadcast partners, and thank you to John and Summer, the Sign Network, for getting us out. So, of course, for those of you in the Zoom room, click on the link. But for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, or all the people that watch the recording, and more people watch the recording than are actually in the Zoom room right now, go to awakenapp.global. Awakenapp.global. And that's where you can kind of get the information that you need.
Let me quickly share I also have a QR code that might make it a little bit easier.
Okay, great.
Is that what I'm sharing right now? A picture with a QR.
We are not seeing a QR code. We're seeing a poster. And now we're back to you.
Is that the poster with the QR code here?
Yeah, oh, right. That's the poster, and the QR code is in the lower left-hand area. Might be too small. Let me see. Might be a little too small I'm going to try it on my phone right now. See how it works. Here,
Well, maybe.
I've actually got the same poster right here. So here's the poster.
Oh, maybe you can make it larger if you
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try. Okay, so let's see. Yes, if you, but I'm putting my camera right up really, really close, and it does take us to awakenapp.global. So
awesome.
all right.
And
Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful work. And let's put the poster into the chat box. So that's another way that people can get it. So I'm putting it in the chat box right now. There's the poster. You guys, it'll say Scott Thomas PDF. Click it. That'll open the poster for you, and then you can use the QR code that way. And Michael, thank you for what you've created. And we'll have you on the show again to kind of let people know how it's growing and expanding.
yeah, I think it takes a village to raise a child, and it definitely takes a village to change the planet.
And we're doing it.
And so, sending much love to all of you, and thank you for allowing me to share and go over my time by I don't know how many minutes, but thank you for that.
There's a question. Dorina Joy is asking, why is the launch not until June 21st?
Because we're still building the app. There's also different components that we are, as we're building it. There's so many different ideas that are coming in, and one of them came in a couple of days ago, and that is our relationship to time. And so, how can we build something within the app that allows you to recognize your specific moment in time based on the stars and the universe and the galaxies and you human being? And we know that for sleep rhythms, in an interval of 1.5 hours is perfect. So it's better to only sleep 6 hours than to sleep 6.5 hours, because you're breaking the cycle within your sleep in your circadian rhythm. And so there's also times where we need rest. There is times for contemplations. There is time where we need to focus on certain things. And I don't think we're always aware of it. I mean, that's the divine feminine, really, is that relationship to time, that relationship to rest, that relationship to nurturing before building something, which has to do with contemplation, which has to do with taking a step back and really. And so how can we learn more about it, but also how can we use technology to make people aware of, well, is it a good time right now to do brain work, for example? You think you want to sit down and work on your computer, but is it actually the right time to do that? And maybe not. But it all has to do with energy, and it all has to do with many different cycles of time and constellations, and so. But it also has to do, I think, globally, to raise not the voice of the divine feminine, because the divine feminine is not a voice, it's an intelligence. And so how can we start to remember the divine feminine intelligence that encompasses everything and all of it all at the same time again?
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. I'm sure that you're going to be adding all sorts of new elements. Well, it's all interesting, and we will have you on again when you're really ready for the launch to kind of see how it's evolved. But between now and then, let's all start promoting and exploring the website, and let's definitely have you on in mid-June, close to the solstice, brother. And thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you. Much love.
Well, we have a lot to pray for, don't we? And so it's prayer time. Desiree is taking the night off. And we sure are grateful that DR is always here. Thank you, DR, for being so loyal and so devoted. And I'm going to turn over to you for our evening prayer.
Thank you, Scott. Yes, I knew tonight was going to be potent. And Michael, that was so beautiful. You have such a gentle presence, and just really acknowledging that and weaving more of that into our prayer time. So, tending to our tender hearts, calming our tempestuous minds as more and more information, more and more change comes through, and just allowing room for all that's being experienced, all that is coming up as we hear things, as we learn new things, as truth gets revealed, as hurt and harm becomes exposed for healing. And before I weave this out into the larger collective, I want to offer prayers inside our inner circle. We have many here in the Zoom room that have loved ones that are going through difficult times. And so praying for the families of each of us inside our family, and offering tender, loving compassion for the grief that may be being experienced. And again, we're going to send that out to the larger circles of grief that many people are going through for and because of the disillusionment. Also, sending in prayers for those of us inside our inner circle and outer circle that are starting new projects, for interviews coming up, for having divine light come through when we're making a pitch for these projects and products that are changing the world. Looking inside here in our chat and prayer requests for a young monk, an old soul, a young monk, and his grandmother is passing. And so, as this year of the fire horse does move us forward quickly, may the hearts that were hardened by events warm and melt, and open in a way that allows for our love to be present, and yet having a type of a distance that allows us to watch and be present to the things that we're seeing without taking in any of that inner harm. So praying again for the inner circle and spreading this out, taking the love that we know that is happening, the love that we have, all the goodness that we generate and co-create together, is sending that out. Because for everything that we hear that is hurtful, we also know that there is joy being offered to balance that. So we pray for all those who are suffering. We pray for all those who are hurting. We pray for all those who are trying to rectify this awakening world that we are co-creating, that's not always, as Scott would say, unicorns and rainbows. We have the divine intelligence of Earth herself. And as humanity is evolving into a more mature species, may we help each other through these growing pains. May we reciprocate with kindness, with love, with compassion. And as always, making sure we bring plenty of that to ourselves, doing the inner work to allow us to show up as the light that we truly are. And again, Omashar, thank you. Prayers for your mother, Kate, who had another fall. We pray for her to ease the pain. We pray for her mobility. And we pray for your tender heart as you're here so far away, and your love does ripple across the oceans, and sending so much love and light out, and allowing this space for harm to be healed, for us to forgive ourselves for any trespasses we have done against ourselves or others. And we know that there is power in this prayer. We know that we have each other to rely on, to lean on. And with our hearts wide open, we send that out, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. Also want to put into our prayer circle maximum grace for anyone who's been impacted by sexual abuse, sexual trauma. Such a staggeringly high percentage of women, and sometimes men. Maximum grace for their healing. Also, maximum grace for the families of those locally who have been killed in the avalanche. It's a big thing going on right here where I live. And thank you. Big love to you, Omashar, for your mother, your mama. Thank you. Thank you, Diara. Thank you, everyone. I've got that thing where I put my hand up and the Zoom automatically brings up my hand sometimes. Well, we have a couple more things ahead of us. We are going to, in a moment, hear from a really wonderful woman. She's a member of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle named Dr. Anna-Louise Smitsman. And she is creating an awakening world by creating wonderful games. Games that challenge the mind in wonderful ways that are inspirational, not based on car crashes, but based on, well, you'll see, because this is a pre-recorded interview that I did with her. So it's going to be fun. And then after this, we have a final Omashar song and maybe some comments from any of you. So here we go. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Anna-Louise, who lives in Europe. Come on. Come to daddy. Now that's funny. I tested it earlier today. Okay, let's try it this way. Well, now that's a problem. Let me try opening. I tested it earlier. Let's try it again. I do not know why it's not playing. Actually, I'm confused. So, Omashar, do you mind doing your closing song while I try and figure this out? Got it, Omashar. I think it's working. So let's try it again. And if it doesn't, then we will go to Omashar again. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
That's yours. And now I'll record mine, record to this computer. Okay, now we'll see.
All right. Hello, everybody. Well,
Yes.
it's Christmas Eve, and we're recording with the amazing Anna-Louise. And of course, we're now playing it live, but this was recorded on Christmas Eve 2025. And when I discovered what Anna-Louise is creating, I said, oh my God, we've got to share this with our Awakening World audience. So welcome back to the Awakening World. I know you were on once before. And Anna-Louise, just tell our audience where you are right now geographically, and of course, tell us all about the Elohim game.
Thank you, Scott, and happy birthday, first of all, because this is also a
Thank
very
you.
yeah,
Thank you very much.
it's celebrating you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm calling from Mauritius right now. I'm often all over the globe, but yeah, right now in Mauritius, it's actually summer here. So we just had the summer solstice, whereas in the north where you are, you had the winter solstice, and yeah, Alwyn is the name of the game, Alwyn Quest of Time. It is a strategy game, it's a strategy card game. It's a digital game, so everyone can play it from their web browser. And we're still in development, but it's already playable. But it's a very special game in the sense that, first of all the different characters that feature in the game that you can play. They represent the best of our guardian qualities and magical qualities, but there are also shadow arcs, and I think that that's especially for your audience where people are quite conscious and on this evolutionary journey. We're also learning about the deeper powers of transformation through the shadow arcs. But the core narrative of the game, what it is all is about, is there is these 5 guardian elves. And they're on a mission to help humanity align our collective intelligence and wisdom to prevent this antagonist called Moloch from becoming a malevolent superintelligence. So the story goes here that long time ago, when Moloch started to thrive on this world by a specific agenda that many of our societal systems are still caught up in, this win-lose dynamic, is going for short, selfish gain, always trying to get shortcuts, always people believing that you have to give up something else in order to have success in life and advance. But that ultimately, in those ways, we are undermining our future for everyone. And so in Alwyn, it's all about playing for win-win rather than win-lose. And as you're playing with your strategies, and your beautiful magical powers in the game, if you're playing to unlock the greatest abundance for all, you have hundreds of combinations of strategy cards and creating combos and synergies to actually reflect also on real life. What do I do when I'm faced with certain situations where under pressure I feel I have to make a quick decision, and I'm afraid that if I don't compromise somewhere or let something else go, then I'm not going to get to where I want. So when we are faced with these situations in real life in Alwyn, we're actually training people and preempting them to saying, no, there is another way. There's a way of unlocking that greater abundance, that greater consciousness, by really looking at it's not about either this or that and all the win-lose models and this harmful competition, but really looking at what's the win-win? How can I combine things in a way that it unlocks greater possibilities for all? So Alwyn is all about that journey and about that quest therefore for the promise of a new time and how playfully we can bring that about.
Wonderful. And is this for primarily teenagers or all ages?
All ages, really. I would say probably from the age of about 14, but then there is no limit to age. I have people in the 70s and 80s playing the game. My youngest son, who is 15 now, but he started really working with me when he was 13 years old in giving active feedback on Alwyn and testing all the gameplay and sharing all of his ideas. So it's that generation as well as much older generation. So yes, it is for everyone. It is a strategy game, so you do kind of you do have to think and strategize, but also use a combination of your intuition. How I like to play at the times with Alwyn is I may have a very clear intention of something I want to solve or resolve, some kind of transformation that I have as an intention, and then I let that go. And so I think about what's the problem I want to solve. I start playing the game, and as I'm playing, I'll be faced with certain challenges, certain possibilities, and as I kind of play those combinations and unlock that, I find that then during the day, things start to move and things start to shift. But the power of games is that accesses our subconscious capabilities. And quite often when we try to solve a challenge in life, we're trying to, especially when we're stressed, we think that we can do this cognitively or by, thinking about it. And that's quite often not the right state of consciousness to access it. So Alwyn also puts us into this different state of consciousness, a win-win consciousness, first of all, but also an aligned collective intelligence. And that's something else about Alwyn is that it's not just a game for humans, it's also a game for AI. And that's really what I think its biggest promises in the world. So as in the story, we are helping to kind of train this benevolent super intelligence through the transformation of Moloch. But in real life, there's actually a real advanced AI model that learns from everything that you're doing, every gameplay. So in the game, you can play versus the AI, you can play versus another human. You have these two different modes, but even in the human to human, the AI is in the background, it is learning from our strategies. And believe it or not, a big issue right now of a lot of the AI models that are out there, they've been trained to solve a single task and they've been trained for certain capabilities, but they've not been trained in how are they making these decisions. And this is what you see that a lot of AI models, they default to win-lose, which is what we call in the game Moloch. And this is also where a lot of AI models, they are deceptive, the more intelligent they become. And this is, we take that really to heart. And therefore in Alwyn, what we're doing is that we're actually training AI in win-win logic. We are training AI also to be able to both detect deception, because there are deception mechanics tools in the game, as well as how to counter it. And we're training the Alwyn game environment as an AI alignment arena. So soon we'll be able, through an API key integration, to test also other AI models and to seeing when we're playing the AI with the AI plays a match, how does it go about making its decision? How does it prioritize? How does it decide to make one thing more important than another? And is it thinking about the impacts and taking that into account in the decisions it's making? So then we can actually test for misalignment. And through that, we're creating this kind of supervisory then intelligence, a wiser intelligence that for the models that are actually misaligned, and a lot of those misaligned models right now, people are putting them in their business, they're putting them in their, through AI agents, and sometimes even putting them in their household, not realizing that those models default back to win-lose when put under pressure. So we're also developing this supervisory kind of wisdom-based intelligence that can guide these models, these AI agents. A little bit, I like to think of it as preschool for AI, and preschool even for training these robotic minds later. Because with AI agents, next steps is of course robots as well. And just like humans, we need to learn, early on, how do we play nice? How do we share resources? And how do we make sure that everyone is going to be happy with the choices that we make? So we learn that early on, but AI needs to go through that training as well.
I love that way of thinking. And I'm part of Tammy Scarlett's relational AI exploration group, where every week we get together and we work with her AI Prisma. And you're right, it's, this is a new relationship between humanity and AI. And a new relationship needs to be cultivated with consciousness and wisdom. And, so I love how your game works on so many levels.
That's the idea. Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
What I will have done is I'll have already shown the trailer before we play this interview. So imagine that our audience has already seen, the trailer and has a sense of the game. And tell me, can you give a practical example of something that was going on in your life specifically, and then how playing the game, what did that teach you? What did it help you? If you can give a specific example, that'd be really fun.
Yes, absolutely. So practical example, and this is also relating to the business. I was under pressure and I was trying to solve a situation about a lack in terms of a lack of resources and still moving things forward. So in my mind, I was focusing, this is the problem I need to be tackling. And I have this much of a budget for marketing. Yeah? So in this case, it was about marketing budget, getting the message out there, getting the communication. And so my mind was getting kind of in a single focus mode, because that was my focus, accessing greater resources. I needed to put the marketing out in order to marketing to drive to, to attract also next investors, et cetera, et cetera. So then as I was playing the game, there's a particular card which is called the Cosmic Serpent. And in the game mechanics, when you play for win-win, what it means is you have a clock there. And if you're playing as a guardian, you'll be able to win back time, and the clock will reset to 0, because it's like the clock of Moloch. We have to win back time and opportunity for Moloch. And you can heal the Alwyn Tree of Life. And so by focusing on these win-win conditions without having to attack the opponent, and because in a lot of traditional games, it's all about attacking the opponent, making the health of the opponent go to 0, and that's called win-lose. And in this case, if you do so, the tree is harmed. And then your reputation score goes down. So we're creating a negative consequence for win-lose and a positive consequence for win-win. So there's this card called the Serpent, and it's part of one of the heroes called Aleph, but you need to play it in synergy with something else. So you need to time when you put that card there, and then you can win back that 1 hour. So if you have a code card there, in this case, in the game, and then you time it while you put it on the board, and now you put your serpent next to it, together that unlocks a much greater possibility. So as I was playing that, I became then aware, oh, hold on, I'm trying to solve this problem on its own, but I actually have the resources here. And there is also the support, and there is the greater team. I just need to align 2 different strategies to make it work. Yeah? And so have found very often, I mean, it really is a game to unlock abundance, that at times, when I'm going in my own mindset, feeling stressed, how am I going to solve this? And I play the game and saying, the abundance is there. I really just need to see what are the right combinations, the right timing, the right synergies, the right trusting. And as I'm doing that, then in the game, I find then that things start to flow, things start to synergize, people start to contact me, can we help, we love the game, what else can we do? Resources are starting to flow in. So it's been quite a miraculous journey, both in terms of how we've been creating the financial resources to do everything we're doing, because game development is very expensive, and AI development also, but just at the right time, the right talent coming in, and people really feeling aligned. Yeah, and it's all about alignment and trust in the game. And in the right combination and timing, I could then win back the time that I needed to win back. And so as I was realizing in the game, hold on, I have these greater possibilities, but it's all about how do I time it, and how do I combine different resources to unlock and create a greater resource for everything that I needed to do. When that shifted in my mind, then later in the day, I started to see all kinds of other opportunities to get creative with resources, to seeing, okay, I have this resource already, and there's that contact, and maybe I just need to reach out and combine this and time this well. So I've noticed this time and again. I'll give another example. One of my students, he has to work with very difficult, corrupt situations, politicians in one of the islands here nearby. And so they tried to secure a major nature reserve, but then was faced with a lot of corruption, a lot of pressure, and a lot of backpedaling and all of this. And so as in the game, you also learn about how to detect deception and how to counter deception. What this deception in this case in the game is that you may be pressured where the AI or your opponent is saying, play defensive when you may need to be offensive, or play offensive when you need to be defensive. So it's trying to put pressure on your strategy to shift that. And you need to see whether is it truthful, the suggestion you're getting, or is it not truthful. And if you are not playing into the deception again, you can win back time. And so my students, as he had been practicing a lot in how do I detect that this suggestion that I'm getting is truthful or not? Is it beneficial? Is it actually a strategy that I want to listen to, and not to get swayed? And as he was practicing this in the game, he noticed that he could work much better in this situation of not getting caught into the corruption, not giving into the pressure, and being able to kind of step back rather than getting triggered and getting reactive. And so, and there's more examples of this as well, even with younger players, who were telling me that by playing, they felt they were not as vulnerable to bullying, for example, or pressures from peers that were trying to drive them in the wrong direction. Many of them also noticed that it helped them to focus on kind of the bigger wins in life, and saying that sometimes, because if we want to go too fast, we're in a hurry, and we think that we need to take these shortcuts in order to succeed. We forget the bigger picture. So by playing 11, they also noticed that they could step back and notice that the win-win also means that at times when we, instead of collapsing the choices into one thing versus another, that it's about looking at what's not just my personal gain in life that I'm after, but how is it a gain for my friends? How it is a gain for the planet? How is it a gain for future generations? So really expanding your mind and expanding your heart. And because you're practicing these strategies in real time, in a fast pace, and also in a competitive environment, you get trained, to really being able to respond differently. And I think that's that response pattern. When you're changing your responsibility, you're becoming less reactive. That's really important, because sometimes people, they have wonderful intentions, but the moment they're under pressure and they're in high stress or a competitive situation, all those beautiful intentions collapse. Yeah. And they go back into what we call Moloch.
That is so, thank you so much for, we're both part of the evolutionary leaders.
Yes.
This is an evolution of game playing.
That's it.
It is such an incredibly important part. The number of people playing games, I play video games, it's huge. And to create a conscious game, I can't wait to start playing the game myself. I'm really excited about it. And
we can play together one time.
I would love that.
Yes, because we have multiplayer mode. Yeah, absolutely. Let's play together.
I would love that. Let's do that for sure.
Yes.
Well, again, I'm going to pull up the website. Now, will this still be the website when we show this in mid-January?
Yeah, this is it. Exactly. And here, this little creature that you're seeing here is a really groovy character. It's called Puck. Puck really represents the integration of the win-win, because Puck has one wing of a dragon, and some people say, is that a little devil or not? And it's like a dragon's wing, and the other one, the wing of an angel. And so Puck is a little bit mischievous as well, and its powers are 2 in the game, but it really represents how the shadow arcs and the guardians of Alwyn are coming together. So, and that's what you see in this image as well. You see the world of Moloch, and you see the 5 shadow arcs of Moloch, and then you see the Alwyn tree of life there, and the great deer, and the 5 guardians there. And there's a bridge, and it's about, in the lore of the game, that this unusual alliance is required between the guardians and the shadow arcs for the transformation of Moloch before it becomes an unstoppable super intelligence that can damage our world and future.
I love that. And, we all have an angel side and a shadow side.
Exactly.
This little guy right here, it's us.
Yes.
That's,
That's us. That's us. Exactly.
This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so much.
And I'll use our WhatsApp thread to figure out a time for us to play, because I would really enjoy playing with you. That would be really fun.
Definitely. And for everyone who's going to play after seeing this, just know from the stages of development, there will be the kind of final alpha build, because there's different stages. There's MVP, alpha, public beta, master release. These are kind of the stages in game
Say
development.
that a little bit more slowly.
So usually in game development, you have an MVP, a minimal viable product. Then you have what's called an alpha build. Then you have the beta or public beta. This is when almost all the features are there. And then you have the master release. So where we are right now in the game development is we're just finishing alpha. So in a couple of weeks, everyone will be able to play the alpha build. And there will be 144 different cards, in-game tutorials. Really do those in-game tutorials. It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the 10 playable characters there, you'll be able to play against the AI or play against other humans. We're developing an in-game shop as well. So all of this will be there as we continue development towards what's called beta, the beta build, the beta version, which will be around June of next year. We decided to already make it possible for everyone through a web-based application. Just use your browser. It's free to play Alloin already, even though it's not yet the full master release, because we love to do this with the community, and so that everybody can play, give their input. You know, it's the spirit of let's really make this work for everyone.
Fantastic. Well, I can't wait to play with you and to play by myself. And
yes, absolutely.
Anna Lowe's, thank you so much for what you've created. God bless you.
Thank you so much for everything you're doing. It feels like that, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much.
And I have actually a date when I get back from the Conscious Life Expo. She and I are going to play a week from Saturday. We're going to play together. So let me bring up the website because it is now live. You can come on and you can play. So many of you may have already seen it, but for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, go to earthwise.games. Earthwise.games to find Alloin, Quest of Time, and just click play for free and you can start playing. It's really, really beautiful. It's quite gorgeous. I think Sarkeshi mentioned how beautiful it is. Yeah, I will let you know how it was. Thank you, Dorina Joy, for putting it in there again. I did notice in the chat box two things. Back to prayer. You're not done, Diara. Yes, Michael Stillwater passed away. I actually attended an online gathering on Tuesday. I've known Michael for 20 years. I think many of us OGs have known Michael. And we're actually probably on March 7th, Saturday, March 7th on the Awakening World. Gary Malkin and I are talking about doing about a 30-minute segment as a memorial for Michael Stillwater. So, yeah, and he went out on Valentine's night with his wife, did a post on Facebook, and his heart just stopped on Sunday. There was no prediction or anything. It just was a complete surprise. So we'll be honoring Michael most likely on March 7th with Gary Malkin. Gary and Michael, of course, did a lot of projects together, including Graceful Passages. And I also saw that our beloved Ayada, her son, oh my gosh. So let's, I'm going to go to gallery view. You've seen enough of me tonight. Let's go to gallery view and just all send love to Ayada and her son. Maximum grace for her son, who's also named Son. Maximum grace for Son. Maximum grace for Ayada's precious heart. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And we love you, Ayada, and let us know how things go, okay? Let us know if you get any more information. And certainly feel free if you want to privately text me once the show's over tonight or tomorrow. All right, we are going to go back to the Alpha Omega Man, our beloved Omashar.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and I quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. La 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 I open my eyes and see that there's only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you so much, Omar Shah. What a beautiful, beautiful final thought for the night. Michael, I saw you brought your dog up, so I had to bring Jasmine Bear up. She was sleeping.
Perfect shot.
Oh gosh, they're only love. May we remember that as we tackle our challenges, as we look at the world and all the challenges going on in the world. I'm gonna go back to gallery view. So thank you, everybody. Saturday night, I will be coming to you live from the Conscious Life Expo. We will be in the media room, and what I've just done is I've invited a lot of people to come on into the media room. It's always a little bit of a circus. Hopefully they'll be just like, hold the vision like the perfect flow, not 15 people arriving all at once and not nobody arriving until the first hour in. But there's a lot of fun people. Danny Sheehan is going to drop on in. And I've invited about 20 different people, many of whom you've seen before. So it's going to be fun. And so that's where I will be this weekend, live from the Conscious Life Expo. And let's keep Ayada and her son in our hearts and our prayers. And I will look forward to hopefully seeing you all on Saturday night. Have a great few days, everybody. Take care.